Hey, and welcome back to Right Hand Drive Guys. This week, we're going to talk about week 2 in Japan. We're going to probably split it up into 2 episodes, though. So this will probably be like part 1. What do you think?
Yeah, it's kind of a lot in
Yeah.
a little bit of time.
And that's what everybody says to me, like, when I talk to them about the trip. They're like, dude, you squeezed in so much. And I'm like, yeah, no, we really kind of did.
Yeah, we did not stop moving. Like, we hit the ground running and...
We're super efficient.
yeah, had to be.
Yeah.
Speeding everywhere.
Hey. Where we left off on week 1 was pretty much, we were about to drop off Amber at the airport. So we first went and grabbed our little camper.
Dude, yeah, that was pretty wild. Like, the road getting there was like this narrow 1-lane road, like dirt road
wild.
almost. It was like through these like small fields in between like these tight houses and like it was like yeah. I'm like, what? I'm driving a camper out of here. What do you like? Where from where?
Yeah,
to where? Like, I'm gonna get stuck.
The guy's like, yeah, we figure if you can make it out of here, you'll probably be good in Tokyo.
Yeah. And dude, that was 100% correct. But yeah, I mean, we went there and the guy pulled out the camper we were gonna be staying in, and it was kind of funny looking, but I don't know. There was a lot of space inside. And
for a little bit of space, there was a lot of space.
Right. It fit in a normal car parking spot. It definitely could have slept 4 people.
It had a little bed over the cab of the driver's space.
It was very tall.
Yeah, it was tall, and so I didn't even actually drive that thing once.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I put some miles on her. Or kilometers on it.
Yeah, and I actually was pretty impressed with you multiple times because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to beat him by like 47 minutes. Like 3 minutes later, dude. You come pulling in. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, what's up?
Didn't even have time to hit the coffee vending machine before you got there.
No way, dude.
So yeah, we got that all set up. We drove that over to like a little parking area next to a grocery store, and we set that thing up for the night pretty much and kind of prep for, just sleeping in there, figuring out how everything worked. And I mean, the guy gave us a pretty good rundown, but I mean, at that point, I think that night we went and got some Wagyu, right?
Yeah, we went to a random place out in the middle of nowhere, and they had one of those little setups with the grill on the table.
There was like 3 employees. You could see the kitchen, like maybe like 6 tables, period, like super small and like.
Yeah, it was cool. It was some good stuff.
Yeah,
too.
it was super good.
The short rib was nice,
and it wasn't expensive. That was one of the things that really blew our mind over there. Was just how
the quality of the food and how cheap it was, and you didn't have to tip. Like
so
they don't accept that. I don't know, it's weird.
So it was straight up like you saw the price on the menu, that's what you're paying. So we got some Wagyu, went back to the camper and just kind of settled into that first night, feeling it out in the, I think it was called a caravan, right? Or was it something like that? Yeah. So like the next day, we pretty much just like, so I'm not like a part flipper guy or have any interest in selling parts because I'm not good at it. I'm just not good. I'll lose money on everything that I sell. But Aaron wanted to take a stab at it because, of course, there are a lot of used parts stores, right?
Right.
And so on that first day after dropping Amber off the airport, I think it was Monday, we just went ham on up garages starting over by Narita, and we were headed to Nagoya that week. So the next day. So we just started heading pretty much through Tokyo, hitting every up garage, hit some Moto Box.
Right. Yeah. And just seeing what they had.
But we'll have a whole episode on that. So we don't want to get too into that because we felt that really deserved its own episode and not just kind of shorthanded here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so we did that for that like whole day and just headed towards Nagoya, which was a new spot for us, right? Like, just we hadn't been there in the first week. Like, we did go to Osaka, which we'll visit again, but Nagoya was new. So what we found that like crazy parking area that like it had like a Ferris wheel, two sides
the highway
to it.
oasis.
Yeah, the super highway oasis. So we had found that and we're like, okay, let's like park the camper there.
Right. And we somehow got separated and
there was two sides to it, but they didn't connect.
They didn't connect, and we were each at the end with the gas station. And dude, I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh, we were getting.
I'm looking at
mad.
We were sending each other pictures of the gas station. I'm like, dude, just send me your pin. Like, where are you? Like,
yeah. So we could only walk to each other, and
that was so weird.
Yeah, the van was stuck on one side, and the GTR was stuck on the other. But we got that, and we decided, like, because the camper's cool and all, but there's like no bathroom, no shower on that thing.
Right, that was the only downside.
There's no way they could have fit it anywhere.
Right, no way.
No,
and I'm sure, like, in Japan, they have like bathhouses and stuff, I'm sure, at all the campsites.
Yeah, which, we got tattoos, so we couldn't use bathhouses.
Right.
And so that was kind of a bummer because, we just want to go bathhouse it up. That was like on the list, right?
Oh, yeah,
but,
dude.
Whatever. We would have done it. We literally would have done it, but we couldn't. So we got a hotel at the Nagoya Marriott, and like we had a great experience and a bad experience. Like, it was an awesome view. The view was like amazing. Like,
yeah, it was pretty wild.
Like, blow your mind, right?
So many lights.
Yes, and they were all just
they went
like
on forever.
Oh my gosh! So you'd have to see it, but they had promoted that they had like laundry on site, and so again, there's no washer in this camper, so we got like 3 days worth of, maybe 4 days, whatever, worth of dirty clothes, and we need to wash them and we need to take a shower. And we get there and it's actually laundry service. And so, mind you, I booked this hotel based on the fact that we need to do both of these things in this time period because we are being super efficient and trying to like not get hung up. So it ends up being a laundry service that ends whatever, at 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. And here we are, 11 p.m., like just getting in there.
Right.
Yeah. So it was
late.
And so the manager ends up coming up because I call him like, yo, this is like really tough. And they, at first they're like, well, go walk down to the coin operated laundry, whatever, a mile down the road. Yeah. Like, and I'm like,
absolutely not.
No way. Like, I pay good money. So anyways, they ended up hooking it up, taking care of us. Shout out to the Nagoya Marriott. They took our laundry overnight, came back folded, smelled amazing, 100% saved it. So appreciate them. But so after that, the next day we had like a pretty busy day. Like, we were up and at it and headed to Osaka.
Right.
Like, we were headed.
Yeah. Had to get on it because we had to go to Stacked, which we talked about.
Yeah, we have an episode.
Your GTT.
Yeah.
And from there we went to, after Stacked, it was Trial Tuning Spirit, I believe.
Yeah, so we went over to Trial.
Yeah, and if you haven't heard of them, they were huge in the 90s. They had like their own signature Recaros they made, but now it's just like a decent tuning shop. They had a bunch of like customer cars outside that they were working on and whatever, just in the queue. And inside they had every single Recaro pretty much made. Giant wall of raised wheels. Like,
yeah, it was
a
dope.
pretty sick shop, and it was just well put together and pretty nice, like, and just refined.
Yeah, for sure. They were absolutely one of the more kind of like well established and aesthetically concerned like places. Like, everything was like super mint. The garages were all suited like and stacked up exactly the same. Like
Right.
it was, they had like a wide body GTR in there they were working on. They had a cool little mini truck wrapped in Recaro trial like livery. It was same with a van. It was like all there.
The high ace out
High
front.
ace,
Yeah, dude, it was all fitted out.
Yeah, so they definitely were like one of the more aesthetically concerned like tuning shops that we went to. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I picked up our buddy Chris's shirt, which I ended up giving him today, and he was pumped, so that was cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because he's a super guy, and they've been known for Supras and whatnot.
Yeah, pretty cool place.
And then next on the roster was Global Auto, which we talked about in the last episode, episode 12,
and all that.
Yeah, so that was a good experience, and at that point, I mean, we pretty much headed over to Jay's Racing to finish out our Osaka like little day tour of Osaka, all the Osaka shops.
Right. And that place, they're known for Hondas. That's all they really do is like their S2000s, their Fits even. Yeah. But their Civic Type Rs, all that. Dude, their shop was next level, and like their facility was so nice and just
for sure brand spanking new.
Right, just like that NSXR inside, it was brand spanking new.
Yeah, they had a 0 mile yellow NSXR in there that was just like absolutely gorgeous. Like I couldn't believe 0 miles when I looked. I was like, dude, this thing is 0 miles.
This thing's mint.
Yeah, like absolutely mint. Yeah, so that was cool to see. And then of course like you said, the S2000, like that iconic S2000.
Right.
The fact you could see into the shop through this window and
like do the snap-on boxes, was that Jay's teal?
Yeah. Everything was like mint. Yeah. Like that was clearly new. And they also kind of, you could tell, took attention to detail. And their like offices and all their little chairs were right out in the open, like, which was one cool thing that I admire about the Japanese. They're very open and like accommodating when it comes to like you seeing what they're doing.
Right.
Yeah, they like.
Yeah,
show
I mean,
it
as soon as we walked in, the guy greeted us like, "Hey,
what's up?
Hey, what's up? Can we help you?
Yeah,
you're driving a GTR. What are you doing here?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm still a Honda boy at heart. Yeah, but like. Then their trophy case, holy moly,
they have some trophies.
Like it's kind of insane.
Yeah,
you're just like,
lot.
What? Like it's like a high school like entry to a gym or something. Right. You're like, damn, okay.
Right, it's like, right by the shop.
Hard.
Like, dude, it's an entire like little wall, like almost.
Yeah, and it was presented like super nice.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I couldn't even read all of them. I was just like, holy cow, this is a lot. And from all over the world.
Oh,
like
for
not
sure.
just Japan.
Yeah. They've done well for themselves. So that was cool for us. And like at that point, we decided we were gonna head back to the camper. This was like at dusk. We hit Lawton's, I remember. After Jay's Lawson's, we hit Lawton's, Lawson's after Jay's Racing, and grabbed some stuff and just started heading back to Nagoya, back to the super highway oasis where our lovely camper was stationed. And I mean, I think pulling back in that night, like we saw a few like dope cars just parked in the lot.
Right.
Like I'm like pretty sure, like. Because I felt like once Golden Week started, everything really popped off. Like people started showing out like everywhere we went till super late.
Right. I mean, maybe it was, I don't know if it was the areas we were in or if we were just doing a lot more driving, but we definitely saw way more cool cars out. I mean, probably had something to do with the holiday week.
Yeah, Golden Week for sure. Yeah. They didn't have to work the next day.
Right. So whatever, they were just out.
Loving it.
Doing it.
Yeah, so... at this point, it's like this is probably our third night, maybe fourth night in the camper. I don't know specifically, but I had to we had to go to a Don Quixote and I had to get a pillow. I had to. They gave us these little, I don't know how you did it, man. Like, you're insane. Like, these things were like thinner than bread, dude. Like, dude, they were so.
Remember. I remember folding it in half and it working a lot better.
Yeah, but it was like literally an 8x12, like the size of a sheet of paper, dude.
And I'm like, why does my body hurt?
Like, oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's this camper.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely, obviously it's a camper. You can imagine what the mattress and how everything was set up. But so yeah, if we were staying the night in that camper again, I had to at least get a pillow, which helped me out. Just the neck support. I really enjoy that.
Right.
So anyways, we hit the camper. We end up the next day. We got Week Fest that day, but first we hit up like the GTR spot.
Right, Garage Defend.
Yeah, that was a great experience. Just from the moment we walked up, pretty much.
Yeah. There was a guy out front, and it was he was working on like some random newer Lexus or something. Said
like
what's up to us,
and
like. It was just like, oh, yeah, you could check everything out. And just, like, gave us free reign to walk around and just look at everything. Like, the 1-of-1 400M or 400R LM.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, so it was the most, they had just set a record for the highest selling R33.
Yeah.
Like, just a month before, and it's just sitting there. And we're like, what?
It's crazy.
Yeah, and then... Yeah, they had another 400R. They had a regular LM. Right. And then that's not to mention every model of R34 from base to the NERS. It was just like, holy moly, dude, we are here. And again, this guy's just like, oh yeah, go do your thing. Like, go, whatever. And so, I mean, we did. We just literally just, because everything's parked as close as humanly possible.
Everywhere,
everything. And so we're like inching through, like in between, like the record setting 400R and like a V-Spec 2, and you're like tiptoeing.
6-figure cars all day.
Seriously, yeah. And this guy's not even concerned with us.
No,
we could have been dragging our butts all over these things, dude, and he wouldn't have had a clue, but he could tell we were like real car dudes, and we would never do something like that. So, so we emerge, after like 20 minutes of drooling,
right?
We emerge, and he again is just like so cool to us.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, yeah, what'd you think? And at this point we've.
That was the guy that asked us where we were from, right? And we said,
"Oh yeah,
kind of near Boston." He's like, "Oh, like Red Sox," and like
made a bat baseball motion. Yeah. Like, I was like,
"Oh, Red Sox."
Yes, yeah. I'm like, "Go Red Sox!" Yeah, like whatever. But it was just cool. Like, that's like what he like thought of, right?
Yeah,
how he could relate it.
Right,
Definitely being a Japanese like person.
Yeah, they were into that type of stuff.
Yeah, and so at this point we had also like kind of combed the outdoor lot, which was like all S15s and R34 GTTs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and there was like it was the ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, dude, the apples and bananas.
Apples and bananas,
the red and the yellow.
Yeah,
R34 is just chilling there. Two of the rarest colors.
Yeah, it was sick. Just outside, just like, whatever.
Bacon.
Yeah, I know. That's what blows my mind. I'm like, dang. But
yeah, that was cool. I mean, yeah, whenever we went to leave, the dude like said, "Oh, okay, well, see you later." Oh, wait a minute, and like ran inside, got us some stickers, and like
that was cool. Gave us like a little pat on the back thing.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, like this is cool. And if you check out the Instagram, you'll see some pictures of Garage Defend and what we're talking about.
Yeah. Super cool place.
Yeah, it really was. And so the parking for like people's cars is like tough right where they're at, because it's kind of on like a 2-lane road, like pretty fast. You can't park on the side, so we had to park out around back on this weird side road. And as we're pulling up, we saw a bunch of these cars like covered up, and we're like, oh, we must be like close because there's definitely sick cars underneath all of these covers.
It's just random like lots that have been, graveled over, and it was just full of, you could see like the bottoms of the wheels, and you knew it was something.
Yeah. Yeah, you could tell a few of the cars. And so when we were walking back, like we look over kind of in this, just like, again, a little lot in between two buildings. We look back and there's like 3 of the like top cars.
Integra Type R, there's a 32 GTR and a Supra, MK4 Supra. And
all just sitting there.
And
uncovered.
It was just like, what? Like, and there was a few of those places, like, I don't know if they just own those properties or what, but just all on that little back street, there's like so many of those properties that have all these rare JDM cars or sought after cars just chilling.
That's where they're parking everything.
Right. Is that like, what they're doing? They're buying all the houses in the area to
imagine use the lots. Yeah. Like, I mean, there was definitely a lot. I was very surprised, but yeah, to see those 3 legends just like chilling out back of this place was just like mind-blowing to me.
Yeah,
like,
it didn't make any sense to me, just like,
but whatever, respect. Hey, they're doing their thing.
Not I mean, it just blew my mind because it's hard to see that type of scene in America.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and so that was a pretty cool experience. And so we kind of hit a few more up garages, and it was at that point Week Fest was only until like 4:00, I think, right? Or was it 5?
I believe it was 4:00.
4:00.
Yeah, we thought we were on like one side of the coast, or the bay rather, and we were like on the dead opposite, so it was a bit more of a drive.
Yeah, we shouldn't have gone to the last up garage that we did. We should have like went, but we still, like, for what it was, and again, check out that podcast. We still kind of got to see everything we'd want to see, right? Maybe like another 30 minutes would have been cool, but like,
no, it was still dope.
Yeah, for sure.
I still got to take it all in and do what I wanted to do there. I mean, there was a lot of sick cars, and I mean, just seeing them again after the show was even cooler. I guess we weren't too far from where the venue is where that Highway Oasis was.
Right.
And I mean, I figured we might see some cool stuff roll through just because it's a parking area. But I didn't expect for like literally half, or if not more, of the show, of the cars that were in the show, we saw in that parking lot again that night.
Yeah, whether they were rolling through or if they were actually stopping and hanging out. Like, yeah, so many.
Right, and that was like at the start of Golden Week, so that place was already packed. So you just saw like random, if you walked around the parking lot, you would just see random cool cars, like sick R34s, all these Civics, like just
there was
random
like
stuff parked in with like the regular stuff.
7 or 8 R34s, like all lined right up. I have a picture from that night. Just it was just wild. Like we were finally like, oh yeah, this is like what we've been waiting for. Like,
it was just insanity, dude.
Yeah, for sure. And there's quite a few parking areas, and like cars do kind of like cycle through them depending on what's shut down. We definitely learned, some of them do get shut down.
Right.
And so,
especially Daikoku.
Right. Especially, there for sure. But since we were in Nagoya and everybody had traveled for Week Fest, they're all anybody traveling back to Tokyo was coming through there and like stopping and getting their whatever, because these places have a bunch of food and a bunch of just different
everything
items.
You would really need. Yeah,
for sure. Like the dankest beef jerky, like made out of Wagyu. Oh Lord,
dude, it was crazy.
Anyways, and so that was quite the experience. Just kind of like hanging out and just cars on cars. Every time you turned around, there was something new. Like,
yeah, and it was all throughout the night. I was hearing stuff like,
that was a harder night to sleep because it was just like the boys were out.
Right. We were
sure.
right near like the exit, right?
Yeah.
And so you definitely heard everyone getting on it on the on-ramp to the interstate.
But like, hey, whatever. Like, if that's what's keeping us up, like, no complaints.
Right. I was there for it. Like, whatever, let's run it.
And so, yeah, I mean, at this point, we're on the outer edge of Nagoya, and we're ready to kind of start heading back to Tokyo the next day to start like really diving into everything Tokyo has to offer.
Right. And yeah, I mean, that next morning there was like a cool M3 just parked right next to us on DE37s. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, the drive itself, like, from Nagoya to Tokyo was what, about 3
3 and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that was pretty cool. The route took us by Mount Fuji again.
Yeah.
And that was very cool to see. It was a little bit clearer on that day, and we went to that.
Some good pics.
Yeah, we had both parked at that same parking area we were in the week before, just randomly.
Oh, yeah, like, because, I'm in an R34, right, and this dude's in a diesel camper, so, right. I can't wait. I can't just drive behind him.
No. I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Yeah. But he's really not that far behind. And this time he had actually, did you come in behind me?
Yeah.
Oh, because there was a time when I came in behind you.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's because I had to get fuel that time, but like, and it was messing with my card. Like sometimes some gas pumps, my card would work sick.
Yeah, that
other
was
gas
so
pumps,
weird.
yeah, I would have to use a different card. Like, so anyways, we just both so happened to stop at the same rest stop that we had stopped at with Amber the week before when we came back from Shizuoka,
right,
being on the train. So yeah, like all of a sudden he's like, nice place to take a break, huh? And I'm like, what the heck? And I see the van pulling in. And yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful spot to like take a break.
Yeah,
sure.
dude, that's like one of the nicest like rest areas, I guess, parking areas that we stopped at.
Right,
just because of the view,
but because of the fact that the way that they had it set up for you to view the view.
Oh, right, they
like
had
legit,
they had a whole observation deck and like.
Yeah, for sure. And they had a Ferris wheel if you had the time to do it. We didn't buddy up on the Ferris wheel. We probably should have, but really it was like we had stuff that we are doing and we are not doing it. So if it means not, sitting on each other's laps on a Ferris wheel, then whatever, right? But yeah, I mean, that was a sweet experience, but we had to get back on the road because Tokyo
waited. Dude, there is just like so much in Tokyo, and we ran out of time, like,
and
really.
Golden Week really,
right?
Yeah, but that's for another episode. We, like we said, we love to keep these right around 30 minutes for you so that it's not like overwhelming and you can kind of hopefully get through it in one sitting. And so we are going to split this up in two. We still have our whole Tokyo experience to talk about, which includes more Wagyu.
Right,
believe it or not.
Definitely more Wagyu.
And
more up garage.
Yeah, up garage. We hit up Moon Eyes. We spent a day with Albo. Right. We have so much to talk about in these episodes. We did end up actually taking a rest day and just kind of chilling. So
kind of forced.
Yeah,
with
like
Golden Week. But.
Yeah, like that was hard because places like Amari Factory and other where were you? Vertex.
No, a bunch of other places. Just pretty much every shop was like closed.
Yeah, pretty much. Once we hit Wednesday, which is pretty much what this episode goes up to, we hit like a roadblock because like they stayed open Monday and Tuesday and even some of them Wednesday. Right. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, done. Like, done. Yeah, I mean, so we were lucky to get in what we did. And, would I go back on a Golden Week? Not unless I was doing something that didn't include driving or going to places that needed to close, right? Because if you were driving, you were waiting in traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, it was always moving, but like...
They're efficient.
Yeah, but it was a delay. So
I couldn't imagine it being wide open.
Right, yeah, that would have been sick. Like, there was time, man, like, when it wasn't Golden Week, we made up almost an hour on a trip.
There's
like,
some low speed limits over there.
Yeah, and there was no people. So we had a blast. We didn't get in trouble. We didn't put anybody in danger. We just, had fun. And that's what it was about. But for this episode, that's going to do it. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at RHDGUIS. And, we're on all the major platforms, so make sure to subscribe. I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
See ya.
Peace.